Welcome to Make a Right Left Here. I'm your host, J Bellezza. What you do is not your job. That's right. Today's video is going to be about 3 things you can do beyond the boundaries of your passion.
Do you have what it takes to make a right left here? Do you?
That's right. What you do is not your job. What you do is your passion. How do you get paid for your passion? By doing your job. Your job rewards you. For example, actors can act all day and it's a hobby. They don't necessarily have to get paid. Your job of everything that you're supposed to do and the mentality of an entrepreneurial brain allows these opportunities to work in the field of your passion and be paid for it. But like anything we do, be it an ice cream shop worker or an actor, we are ultimately recouping income. What is recouping income? Glad you asked, because I love questions. Recouping income is when you place your time in exchange for currency. The things I'm going to be talking about today will help develop wealth. Wealth is the amount of time you can go before you have to recoup income again. So these 3 things will help you develop wealth. Number 1. Well, in the beginning of your career, which is, we're going to say 1 to 5 years, and technically, by your 3rd year, you should be successful, but if you're not, you have up until your 5th year. But during this time, your job is literally to say yes to everything, because you need to work as much as possible. There are certain stipulations to this rule, which I will go over, but ultimately, the reason you are saying yes to everything is because you just want to make money. By saying yes to life and getting jobs and working within your field of interest, preferably, you will actually be building and cultivating relationships, which is important. You will also be building your brand value. Brand value growth is the idea that you create a brand that builds awareness, that helps create interest, that ultimately generates sales. This is very important. The stipulations. Of course, I wouldn't just say yes to everything. Obviously, if you're an actor, I would strongly advise against doing certain things that have nothing to do with acting. For example, waitressing. I know, it's your survival job. But you should think in terms of your career. Your survival job should be within your field of interest. Work at a production company, work at a casting company, work at a studio. Whatever it is, work in whatever field of your interest. The second stipulation is obviously if you don't like it, don't say yes. You have to be comfortable with what you're saying yes to because you're putting your time into it. You are trading your time for currency. So be comfortable doing it. And more importantly, which is probably something I would stick to mostly, is does it fit your brand? Are you doing something that fits your brand? Now this goes towards more performers and also people in the business world. If you're a female, and I always say this at my seminars, if you're a female and you don't want to do nudity, do not do nudity. It doesn't fit your brand. It doesn't pay to say yes to it. The big number 2, you have to treat your life like a business. I know, but I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a comedian, I don't own a building, I'm not a business. But you are a company. You are working to earn money. You are providing a service. If you are an actor or a graphic artist, and the graphic artist says, hey, listen, you can hire me and I'll make a picture or something of your logo. Well, an actor is basically doing the same thing. They're saying, hey, hire me. I have the service to perform. I could bring to life your character with my years of thespian training. Did he say lesbian? I'm hoping. So treat your life like a business. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have to think smart. You have to use your entrepreneurial brain. So, for example, if you were going to open up your business or start your career in entertainment, you might want to do it by having a foundation of at least 9 to 18 months in a business checking account. What 9 to 18 months, Thomas? I love questions, so I'm glad you asked that. It's 9 to 18 months of your average monthly overhead. What's an overhead? Overhead is the amount of money it costs you, or the expenses it costs you to live per month. And the reason we do this is because you want to organize your money. And the only way you could organize your money is once you are allowed to. And the way you're allowed to is if you can maintain a safety net of your 6 to 9 months. I like to do 6 months because, I like my money to be played with as much as possible and as quickly as possible. So I'll do 6 months. So again, if $1,000 is your overhead, if I had $6,000 in the bank, every dollar over that gets to be 60-40 split. Now, how does that work? Well, if I made $100 over my overhead, I can take 60% of that, which in this case is $60, and divide it evenly into my 3 needs of purpose, which is security, growth, and dream. I take that 60 and I put $20 in security, $20 into growth, and $20 into my dream. The other $40 I either place back into my foundation or slash my safety net, depending on my level, so I can continue to accumulate money. Because you can have well over 6 to 9 months in your safety net. In fact, you could have two years worth of money in your safety net. The point is, as long as you take 60% of any money over your minimum overhead requirement, which could be 6 months to 9 months, it could be 6, 7, 8, or 9. It could even be higher if you want. If you want to have a better threshold, if you want to do a year, you can't organize your money until you have a year worth of overhead in your account. That's fine. My point is, organize your money. This brings us all the way to number 3. That's right, 3. What is 3? How do I build my career beyond my passion? Well, invest into investments. You have to invest your money. And once your growth need is allocated to a specific number of your comfort, you can take that money and start investing. Now, if I were you, your 2 to 5 years, I would always stay within stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and intellectual properties. I would stay away from real estate, business openings, IOUs, and commodities at this point. I would stay away from those until your company's been around for like 6 to 10 years. Just focus on your stocks, bonds, your mutual funds, and intellectual properties. Let those develop money that you can then 60-40 split back into your security, growth, and dream, and ultimately develop additional investments. If you don't think that's really important, where you're saying, Thomas, I did not become an actor to invest. I became an actor to get a $20 million paycheck, just like Mr. Pitt of the Brad, and I don't understand why I would waste my time with investments. It's not my stick. I don't do it. I don't do it. Well, the thing is, Brad Pitt does it. And so does every successful person that has longevity, specifically longevity, does that. Look at your idols and see how they maintain their growth of wealth. Shaquille O'Neal does not play basketball anymore, but that MF is paying his bills. He's paying for his family, his kids. He still has his big house. He has his big cars. The point is, what he did was he reinvested his money into assets. My point is, learn to invest. In fact, before you even have the money to invest, you should start researching a little bit. Say once a month, start reading a book or researching it online, how investments work, specifically stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And if you're a creator or an entertainer or someone that develops content, look into intellectual properties, because if you own your stuff, you can license your stuff and therefore make money off of it. I'm just saying, learn to reinvest the little money you make, because you're not going to get a $20 million check for a few years. And also, if you do not invest your money, what happens when you stop working? Because in entertainment, it is a frugal business where out of nowhere, you could just not have work. I mean, when was the last time you saw your favorite actor from the 80s or 90s? And you're like, Jesus, the only ones that made it at 90s is Tom Hanks. So if you have any questions on this subject matter in this video, or you have questions in general, feel free to pop those babies down in the comments. Also, if you'd like to take a gander at the videos on my website, hit subscribe. I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm wearing my face on my chest. You can go to the link in the description and you can totally check it out. I want to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The light is also in the description below. But I do have a Patreon, and the Patreon has rewards. If you donate money, it gets charged out of your account every month. Do you have what it takes to make a right, left, here? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya, punk?
Oh dear.